Right now, your investigator discovering even more staffers at the Denver Mayor's office are using encryption apps to auto-delete messages. The mayor says he is deeply committed to transparency, but open records advocates say deleting conversations between public officials violates the spirit of Colorado's Open Records Act. Open records are important for accountability in government, allowing citizens to monitor their government's actions, prevent corruption, waste, and abuse of power by making government actions subject to public scrutiny. Your investigator, Brian Moss, broke the story wide open last month and is still working on getting answers for you. When Mayor Johnston's office said he didn't have time for an interview, Brian found a way to make it happen.
Will you continue to auto-delete stuff?
This was an interview the mayor's office said could not happen.
How many of these signal groups does the mayor's office have that have been auto-deleting messages?
I can tell you what Denver does.
As Denver Mayor Mike Johnston prepared for this appearance before Congress, we learned he was communicating with 14 of his staff members in a group chat on the encrypted app Signal with his group called Strike Force. And the group's conversations about Denver's migrant issues were being automatically deleted.
It seems like a pretty plain, straightforward, deliberate effort to evade transparency.
Since we first reported that in March, we've repeatedly asked to interview the mayor. As late as Wednesday morning, his spokesperson said, "We won't be able to do an interview this week."
How do you feel about transparency today?
We feel great. We're equally committed to it. We have been.
So we showed up at this event on Wednesday anyway, seeking answers about the mayor's office deleting its internal conversations about immigration.
Every communication channel we have is open to the same public request for records. So whether we use text messages, WhatsApp, carrier pigeon, it does not matter. Every single system of communication we have is open to public records search, and so entirely transparent, always has been, will stay that way.
But we can't do a public record search if messages are auto-deleted, and you have signal groups that are doing that.
Yeah, so we abide by the city policy on deletion for any one of the networks we use. Those networks are all the same.
We can't core messages that don't exist anymore because they were deleted.
At the same time, we've also learned of another group within the mayor's office that's also been auto-deleting their messages and conversations, apparently for a little over a year. The mayor's office has been running another signal group called Media Monitoring, sharing news stories of interest to the mayor's office in real time. And like Strikeforce, Jordan Fuja, the mayor's spokesperson, admits Media Monitoring also auto-deleted messages between members. She said the signal group started their encrypted communications in the fall of 2023 and only stopped auto-deleting their messages in January of this year. Through an Open Records Act request, we obtained this information showing Fuja was the administrator of the group.
You might go down as one of the least transparent public officials in the history of the state.
All this intentional deletion of messages has given fuel to critics, like Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman.
This is an administration that's not just only not transparent, but is dedicated to not being transparent.
Even the city of Aurora says it had to threaten to sue the city of Denver to get open records they asked for about migrants, which Aurora requested under Colorado's open records law and paid more than $6,000 for. Johnston's office says it provided Aurora with more than 2,000 records on the migrant crisis in accordance with open records laws. And one thing Johnston and Kaufman might agree on?
When elected officials go out of their way not to be transparent, it undermines the public trust.
Anyone that you ask me for, I give to you. That's all I can tell you.
I'm Brian Moss, covering Colorado First.
The city of Aurora says if Denver does not turn over all the records that have been requested by next Wednesday, it will file a lawsuit.